Right. So in the previous tutorial, we integrated pistol for our character. Now you can see we can switch the state to unarmed and pistol like this. And whenever I start the game, it start with the unarmed state, right? Okay. So now let's see how we can implement the rifle as another weapon for our character. Right. So first I think we can start with the Animset because currently we have an Animset for unarmed and pistol, but we doesn't have an Animset for rifle. So let's quickly create another Animset for rifle. Right. So let's create, maybe I'll duplicate this thing. And I'll call it as the row name rifle. Okay. Now for the idle stances, we have rifle crouch stuffs. So we have rifle crouch entry, and for exit we have rifle crouch exit. And for lanes, actually I think we can use whatever we have, plus for sprints we can use the exact same thing that we had before. And what about jump? So jump, we have dedicated stuff. So just search for rifle jump. So let's plug jump start to here and start loop, apex, for loop, for land, and recovery ready. Right. Okay. And make sure your recovery additive animation is marked as additive, otherwise it will give some error. Right. So you can see like it's not marked as additive yet. So let's make it as what? Let's quickly check what we have done at the pistol. Yeah, we have to make it as local space frame from this animation. Local space frame from this animation, and I'll select the last frame actually, which is 28. Okay. And then for aim offsets, currently we are having AOM in pistol, but actually need a different aim offset for rifle. So I'll go and create a new animation offset for our escape mannequin, and I'll call it as AOMM rifle. Right. So like I did before at the AOMM pistol, I will copy all these axis settings and go to MM rifle and paste it there because it's the exact same. And then we need to implement animation offset anim sequences within our anim offset graph. So let's search for MM rifle idle ADS AO. And I'll start with AOCC. Right. So again, I'm mentioning, make sure all of these AO aim offset animations that is dedicated for rifle is sharing this AOCC as the additive animation base pose, right? And it should be mesh spaces as well. So if I go to any sort of rifle aim offset animations, it is the shared animation, right? Okay, so I'll go back to your rifle and let's start implementing it. So the CC is at middle and CD, CU, then RC, RD, RU, then RBC, RBD, RBU, and we have LC, LD, LU, LBC, LBD, and LBU. And as the preview base pose, I will use rifle idle ADS. Right, so you can see the additive animations are now there. Not additive actually, the aim offset animations are there. Right. So let's go to DT Animset, and instead of AOMM pistol, I'll choose AOMM rifle. The rest of the configurations will remain same for the general category. Right, so I'll collapse this category and let's look at our movement groups. Right, so walk, let's plug rifle walk idle, I guess. Rifle walk. Sorry, rifle idle. Rifle idle ADS. And for the idle brakes, we have rifle idle brake fidget and idle brake scan. And turning place, we can plug rifle turn left 90 and right 90. The play rate remains 1. The start cardinals. We have rifle walk. Yeah, so we have rifle walk cardinals. So let's plug forward start, backward start, left start, and right start. Okay. The forward facing, I will keep it as empty, and for cycle cardinals, let's use the cycles. Forward, backward, left, and right. And for stop, also forward stop, backward stop, left stop, and right stop. For pivot, we have forward pivot, backward pivot, left pivot, and right pivot. Okay. And as the configurations, I think the same configuration we can keep. Right. So I'll save and let's move into jog. Jog also, I think we have rifle idle hip fire, right? So for walk we used rifle idle ADS, and for jog we used rifle idle hip fire. But for idle breaks, actually, we can use whatever we plug in here because it's the same for both ADS and hip file. Paste. Right. And how about turn in place? Again, turn in place, we can share the same thing. So I copy and paste to here. But for cardinals, we need to use rifle jog cardinals. So forward, actually these are starts, right? So forward, start, backward start, left start, and right start. Right. And for start forward facing, what we can do is instead of using this unarmed jog forward, we can use rifle jog forward start, right? The rest of the stuff we can keep as it is. Right. And for cycle, let's use the cycle stuff. Forward, backward, left and right. And then stops. So forward stop, backward stop, left stop, and right stop. And pivots, we have forward pivot, backward pivot, left pivot, and finally right pivot. Right. So I think configurations we can keep as it is. And save. Okay, and finally we can move to crouch. So crouch, actually I will use pistol crouch idle. Sorry, not pistol crouch, but let's use rifle crouch. Right. And for turn in place, we can use rifle crouch, turn left 90 and right 90, turn right 90. Right. And cardinals, so we have is crouch walk cardinals. So crouch walk, actually a forward start, backward start, left start, and right start. And forward facing stuff I will keep empty. And cycles, forward, backward, left, and right. And stops, forward stop, backward stop, left stop, and right stop. And pivots, forward pivot, backward pivot, left pivot and right pivot. Okay. How about the configurations? Well, I think we can keep it same as well. Okay. Yeah, good to go. Save everything and save all. So now we have this rifle and set at our data table. So now I'll go to our weapon firearms BP rifle and let's configure it. So I'll use the same name for the weapon as well and for the Animset. And as the icon, we have T rifle, and for skeletal mesh we have a scale rifle, and as the attach socket I can use rifle socket. Rifle socket. Compile and save, and let's go to the BP player base weapon system, and I'll add another weapon instance, and this should be BP rifle, right? So in order to equip the weapon, I will add a debug key for now. So I'll use keyboard event 3, and as the slot I can use the what, the second slot. Okay. Now I think we can do a playtest. So let's play it. And if I press keyboard 3, okay, I can see I pick up rifle. Yeah, but I think the forward facing animation is actually not quite match with the Animset. But yeah, so if I start with the forward facing mode, then it works properly. Yeah, we can resolve this stuff. Okay, so anyway, now you can see it's picking the rifle, but here you can see the socket is again incorrect, right? So let's quickly resolve that as well. So I'll go to SK mannequin and I'll remove this attachment from the pistol, and instead I will attach a new preview asset for rifle socket, which is SK rifle. And as the animation, I will use rifle idle, rifle idle ADS. Okay. Right. I think this would be fine. Okay. Then let's play test again. Okay. Now you can see actually the weapon sockets are fine. But still it seems the left hand is not aligned with the weapon properly. right? Okay. So it happens actually because of our aim offset. So I think the aim offset is applying for the weapon, and it's sort of uh, you can see like if I look down, it doesn't affect that much. Right. So I think those are the IK hand stuff that we can resolve later on. Maybe like we can add sort of a IK point or attach socket to here, and based on that attached socket we can resolve the IK of the left hand, right? So no matter what sort of aim offset that we are having, always the left hand will be attached to the weapon, right? But for now I think we don't need to go into that detail, right? Later on actually we can implement those sort of IKs, right? Okay, now let's switch to pistol. Okay, so pistol actually, even if I start the movement from the forward facing, you can see it start with the unarmed state, right? So I think I can resolve that by going to the data table and and we have this jog movement group, right? And there uh, at the start forward facing animation I am using this unarmed jog forward start. Instead let's use pistol jog forward start, right? So now if I switch to pistol and start the movement from the forward facing mode, actually it works properly, right? It doesn't go for the unarmed state. But if I try to switch the direction quickly at the forward facing, you can see it's applying the echo animations, right? Which means they are not actually lyra pistol animations. But that would be fine, I believe, right? So you can see like these sort of animations will be applied at the different rotations when I'm at the forward facing mode. So if you go and check out those animations, actually these are not any armed animations or any pistols based animations. They're just unarmed state references, right? That's why actually whenever you start the movement like this sort of a direction, it goes from unarmed to a pistol state, right? But it would be fine, right? Later on, if you are not comfortable with these sort of transitions, we can simply remove those forward facing animations. But otherwise I think this would be fine, right? Because in game when we are moving the character, it doesn't affect, right? Which is what we want. Okay, so let's test the rifle as well. Again for rifle, that's the issue, right? Since I'm using the echo animations, it sort of disorient the anim's state, right? But if I try to move when I'm already moving, then it works properly. But here you can see like the left hand IK is not properly there. But yeah, we can change those stuff later on. Okay, so that's it for today, and in the next tutorial let's see how we can integrate sword for our character as our very first melee weapon, and we'll see how we can do that in the next tutorial. I'll see you there. Thank you.